Hello friends, my name is Masood. Today we shall discuss about topic the stakeholder management. Friend, today's topic is very interesting, especially if you have interest in project management or you are planning to give exam or PMP in near future. So let's start. First of all, I will request to please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell option as well so that my videos can reach to you, and also you can follow me on the Facebook page as well. Friend, stakeholder is basically is a knowledge area in the PMBOK guide, project management body of knowledge, and this is a very important topic if you want to understand the project management. Stakeholder is basically a person in a project who has a stake or interest in a project. This interest could be positive interest, or this project could be a negative interest in the project. Obviously, positive interest means it has a positive impacts on the project, and negative interest means that the negative impacts are there. So as a project manager, you must have to ensure the needs and expectations of the stakeholders, and you must have to manage these stakeholders as well. For example, if a CEO of a company or from the customer side has great interest in the project, or so definitely you will try to enhance his skills, try to meet his expectations. If the CTO from the customer side, he doesn't have any interest in the project, so obviously this thing will impact your project. Obviously it has a negative impact on the project. So as a project manager, being a project manager, you should have to manage the expectations, needs, requirements, and feedbacks of the stakeholder from different side, from the customer side especially, and from internal vendor side as well. Now, friend, first process in the stakeholder management is the identify stakeholders. Identification of stakeholder means that you will identify who are the stakeholders which are involved in the project. So first thing in for this process is the inputs. Inputs means that the first input is the project charter. Means the project charter is a document which basically gives you information about the objectives, assumptions, constraint, the scope of a project. Okay, then the stakeholder register from previous projects. Means the stakeholder register is a document which basically defines the mention the stakeholder name, their impact, their interest, and their influence on the project. So the previous projects stakeholder register, the historical data is very important because it helps you to understand the similar projects identification of stakeholders. Then organizational process assets are those templates and guidelines and lesson learned from the previous projects stakeholder management activities, which helps you a lot. You must have to study all those documents thoroughly. The tools and techniques are the stakeholder analysis. Means that you will do the interviews, surveys, document analysis to identify stakeholders, their interest, their influence, and the output of this whole process is the stakeholder register. Stakeholder register is a document containing information about identified stakeholders, their roles, interest, impact on the project. So this is a very important document from the identification of a stakeholder. Next is the plan stakeholder engagement. The inputs for this process is the project management plan. Basically, project management plans tells you that how the project will be executed, monitored, controlled, and how will you manage a project. Then stakeholder register from the previous project, from the previous process you will get it, the stakeholder register, that it identifies the stakeholders, their characteristics. Then communication management plan, that means how and when project information will be distributed to different stakeholders, what will be the process. Risk register means the risk involved in the stakeholder involved engagement should be properly mentioned here. The tools and technique used for this process is the expert judgment. Means the you can discuss with any domain experts that how can you manage the stakeholder, how you can manage the expectations and requirements of the stakeholder. Obviously, a person who has expertise in this domain, he will help you a lot. The stakeholder engagement assessment matrix is another very important document, which is a tool that helps assess and plan how to engage with the stakeholders based on the needs and expectations. The output of this whole activity of the process is the stakeholder engagement plan. Basically, this is a plan which documents outlining the strategies for engaging with the stakeholders. What should be the frequency? What should be the how will you engage with the stakeholder? Like you will do the meetings, you will send the emails, etc. So the whole process of planned stakeholder engagement is basically output of a stakeholder engagement plan. That how you manage the stakeholder engagement. Then manage stakeholder engagement. The input for this process is basically the project management plan. Again, project management plan provides the overall framework for managing the stakeholder engagement. How will you manage the stakeholder? The stakeholder engagement plan is another input for this process. Basically, it outlines specific strategies for engaging with the stakeholders. Communication management plan specifies how project information will be communicated to stakeholders. The tools and techniques for this process is the communication methods, means implementing the planned communication strategies. Interpersonal skills means building relationships and managing conflicts with the stakeholders, having meeting with them, sit with them, try to understand what are the problems are there, what are the issues they are facing. Then issue log means the recording and addressing issues raised by stakeholders. Generally what we do, we make a the Excel sheet in which we mention all the issues which are raising from the customer side. The output of this process is the issue log updates, means that maybe customer stakeholder mention few more issues, or maybe few issues closed, so documenting new issues or changing to the existing issues is the main activity here. Then project management plan updates means that after having discussion with the stakeholders or engaging with the stakeholders, you realize that maybe there are some changes are required in the project management plan which should be done as per the need basis. Then monitor stakeholder engagement means you have to monitor that how stakeholders are engaging. The input for this process is the project management plan, the stakeholder engagement plan, and the work performance data. Work performance data means that how the things are going, either they are going as per the requirement, as per the expectations or not. The tools and techniques are stakeholder engagement assessment metrics. That means evaluating the effectiveness of a stakeholder engagement strategies. Data analysis means the analyzing trends and patterns in stakeholder engagement. The output of this process is the work performance information, means the information on how well the project is meeting stakeholder needs and expectations. Change request means that if there are any changes to the project based on the stakeholder feedback, it can be managed here. Then project management plan could be updated here as per the monitoring from the stakeholder feedback and their review as well. Friend, the key points to remember, first one is the continuous process, that the stakeholder management is a continuous process. Communication is very key, like communicating to the stakeholders properly, thoroughly. Adaptability means plans for stakeholder engagement may need to be adopted based on changes in the project environment. And feedbacks are very important, getting the feedback from customer on regular basis and doing the right things. Proactive approach means that like you should not do the reactive approach, do the proactive approach, like helps in identifying and addressing issues before they escalated. So this is the basically the proactive approach. So friend, thanks a lot for watching the video. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please share it with the friends and colleagues, and thanks a lot for watching.